Season 37, War number 4, and we are up against Sweda's Alliance. This time my team will be Tigra, Kitty and Omega Sentinel. I'm taking path 7 in section 1, as well as that Nick Fury on the shared fight, Super-Skrull on the scared stiff node, as well as that Kitty Pryde, path 5 in section 2, followed by that Rintrah, all the right side mini bosses, as well as that Bishop boss. First up we have a Longshot on the power efficiency and conflictor node. I'm taking this fight with Kitty Pryde, and I had a teammate place a white Magneto pre-fight for me here to make this fight a lot easier. With the passive stuns this fight becomes very easy. All you really need to do is just medium light combos with Kitty, and if needed you can just use your parry stuns to ramp up your prowess. You don't really wanna bait his special one, but if he does throw it, you can just block it instead of dexing it to avoid triggering Mystic Dispersion. The health pools in section 1 are pretty low, and I'm running full recoil masteries this time, so all this fight needs is just a single special 2, and that fight is over, with a lot of overkill. Kitty really is just a whole different champion with the recoil masteries active. She is great without them, but if you have them on, you get so much more damage, and you basically don't get any of the negative effects, since you can just face the damage from the debuffs. They basically only heal you, and then you also ignore the recoil damage when using your specials. But on to the next fight. This is a Kingpin on the Vivified node. I have the white Magneto pre-fight here for Kitty Pryde to make it a lot easier. And without it I probably wouldn't be taking this fight. Kingpin has so much power gain that I basically need to keep baiting his special one over and over again, which does get me pushed back a little bit too far into my corner. But as long as I can get to my special 2, I can wrap this fight up without any real issues. Now that I'm so close to my special 2, I go ahead and push Kingpin to his special 2 so that I can face it for more prowess, for a lot of overkill with my special 2. Honestly, I didn't need to do that, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Although he did almost dex out of it, which was a little bit scary, but even then all I need to do is just wait out the unstoppable and hit him once and he would have dropped. Then we have a Nick Fury on the Hazard Shift, Incinerate and Poison. I'm taking this fight with Kitty Pryde, and once again I had a teammate place a white Magneto pre-fight for me here to make the fight just that much easier. You don't need it for this fight, but having easy access to your prowess is always nice. And again, the plan is basically the same as it was last time. I wanna avoid hitting him during the poison phase, because anytime I get a debuff placed on me, Nick Fury gains a big Fury buff. And if those poison debuffs stack up with the Fury buff active, I'm gonna drop like a fly. Unless I can keep my phasing up for the duration of the poison debuffs, which is doable, but that's not really something you wanna rely on in a warfight. Throughout the fight you will see me use the light attack into the air to make the AI stand still, so that I can wait out the poison phase a lot easier. It's a very useful trick, and as long as you do it properly, it is very consistent and safe. With my prowess potency ramped up from the Incinerate debuffs Nick Fury is trying to trigger on me throughout the fight, all this fight really needs at this point is a single special 3 to finish him off. I could have thrown it a lot sooner, but like I said, I really wanna be safe when I do my war fights. No reason to take unnecessary risks. Next up we have a Super-Skrull on the Scared Stiff node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. I took off my recoil masteries because if something goes wrong, I don't wanna be ticking down from the debuffs. That's how I lost my deathless streak one season, I believe, 3 seasons ago. But anyways, I use an advanced power boost to start with 1 bar of power, and then all I need to do is bait 2 heavy attacks and punish them with my heavy. However, he didn't wanna go for his heavy straight away, and I ended up getting rooted. To save myself, I had to use my special one there, which kinda threw me off here. I ended up having to bait a special one from him, and now that I got my special 2, I also got the falter debuff. Had I thrown it, this special 2 would have missed for the most part, and yeah, I don't think I would have died, but it wouldn't have been pretty, and it would have cost the potions. Got a little bit sketchy, but in the end it is a pretty easy fight for Tigra. Next up we have a Pryde on the new Power Snack node, and I'm taking this fight with Omega Sentinel. I didn't use a pre-fight here, so that I start in the Cowardice debuff mode, because when Pryde is inflicted with Cowardice, she loses all of her prowess and can't gain any for the duration of the Cowardice effect. Now that I've thrown my special 2, all I really need to do is just do a combo and finish it with a light attack to pause my debuffs, and that should be enough to finish her off. A very simple fight for Omega Sentinel. Her Nullify immunity completely shuts down the Power Snack node. And then we have a Nova on the Ebb and Flow Intercept node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. Now this fight is the reason I didn't put my recoil masteries back on for the previous fight, because I just really don't like using them with Tigra. So this fight is basically just a normal Nova fight. You don't have to play the nodes or anything like that. You could play it like normal and Nova will drop eventually. But since Nova gave me a great opportunity to intercept him at the start, I went for it, and that made the fight a lot faster. Otherwise this fight went very well, but I did take some damage. But luckily this was the last Tigra fight of the war, so I don't have to use a potion. Next up we have a Killmonger on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge node, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. I went ahead and put my half recoil masteries on with just the poison debuff to get some more damage and free healing throughout the fight. Now this fight does get a little bit more tricky without the White Magneto pre-fight, since to build prowess you either need to stun the opponent, intercept them, or land a critical hit. And since there is Mighty Charge, you can't always land your parries, and Killmonger has extra critical resistance, you can't land your criticals either. Your best bet is to go for intercepts. Now, intercepting with Kitty isn't really a problem once you have some prowess built up so you can keep phasing. But if you don't get your prowess up at the start of the fight, it gets a little bit more sketchy with those counterpunch charges. You basically have to go for light intercepts instead of mediums. That being said, this fight was basically perfect. I played this the safe way, but if you wanna be fast with this, you can also put on 3 out of 3 recoil and nuke him down with a single special too. I've done that before and it does work. Next up we have a Rintrah on the Ebb and Flow Intercept Mighty Charge shared fight, and for this one I did have a teammate place a White Magneto pre-fight for me, so I can easily get my prowess up whenever I want to. The idea with this fight is that you basically just bait his special one and punish it with your heavy attack. Knocking him down removes 5 of his charges every single time, so if you just do that, Rintrah doesn't really do much of anything really. I could have, and I probably should, use my specials to speed this fight up a bit, but again, I just want to play this safely. If I never use specials, I always have prowess to face everything, and if you can phase, you basically can't die unless you really mess something up. I ended up pushing Rintrah to his special too, and yeah, I'm not even gonna try to dex it. I don't wanna mess up a special 2 dex and just drop dead from a single special 2. So I just go ahead and phase it. There really isn't any reason not to phase it, especially with the White Magneto pre-fight here. All the prowess I lose I can get back with a single parry. This fight has taken a very long time by now, and I just want out of here. I could drop my special 3 here, and it probably would finish him off, but I just want him a little bit lower, just to make sure. I need to land an intercept to remove the protection, and then just go for it. It ends up being enough, and I finish with 97% of my HP. It's a very safe fight, but it does take some time. Then we have everyone's favorite, King Groot on Safeguard with Omega Sentinel. The plan here, as always, is to start the fight with the heal block debuff mode active. So I use the pre-fight, check that it's actually on there, and then just go in. The idea here is to get to my special 3, wait for the Furies to drop off, go for a double medium to inflict a heal block debuff, and then throw my special 3. The special 3 inflicts 6 incinerate debuffs, which is the source of my damage in this fight, and the heal block debuff shuts down the conduit regen, as well as willpower and his own regen. This fight is very simple as long as you don't push into his special 2, even by accident, because if you do, and you get clipped by it, you will drop, there is no question about it. Especially if he gets that regen buff before throwing it, meaning that you can't block it either. It deals a lot more damage against robots, so yeah, don't try it. Now that I got the incinerates up with my special 3, I need to find an opening and go for a full combo, finishing on a light attack to pause the debuffs. After that, all I need to do is just make sure the debuffs are paused, and he will drop eventually. Omega Sentinel's short dashback does make this fight a little bit scarier than what it should be. I have been caught by that before, so if you're taking this fight, just be mindful of that. You have the auto block as a safety net, and if you get clipped during the unblockable, you're not gonna die from it. The biggest risk there is that he's gonna clip you and push himself to 2 bars of power. As long as that doesn't happen, you'll be fine. Then we have a Magneto on the Stunning Reflection mini-boss node, and I'm taking this fight with Kitty Pryde. I was thinking about using Omega Sentinel here, but since I can't use the auto block trick to disable Stunning Reflection, I didn't really see any point in doing that. All I need to do with Kitty is get up to 3 prowess, so I can start phasing, and then just not do anything stupid, and it's gonna be a fairly easy fight. The biggest issue is just getting those 3 prowess passives at the start, which I did mess up a little bit that I got hit. Since you can't gain any power in this fight, it is gonna be on the longer side. But then again, it is also gonna be very safe. You don't have to try to phase his specials or anything like that. Just dex them like normal, do your medium light combos, and yeah, that's basically all you need to do. You can also do full combos, but I'm usually doing my medium light combos because that allows me to heal up a bit from that poison debuff. Doing medium light combos means that you're not gonna be phasing for only about a frame or so, so that damage in debuff doesn't have time to tick any damage between your phases. I probably explained that horribly, but basically medium light combos means no damage, which means more healing. Now I'm just waiting for a teammate to go and place a white Magneto pre-fight for me on that Mojo, and it didn't show up, so I had to restart or reload the war map. If you don't do that, the pre-fight doesn't apply and you're not gonna have a good time. Okay, so this is a Mojo on the Limber and Brute Force mini-boss node. I'm taking this fight with Pryde. I have the white Magneto pre-fight on here to allow me to gain my prowess easier and faster, and I did also use an invulnerability boost just in case something goes wrong. And I'm glad I did, because everything didn't go exactly as planned. My game plan is basically the same as against those Penny Parkers on the Power Snack node last season, and I'm doing medium light combos and even dashing at him when he has a special ready, because I don't wanna trigger dexterity. I could have taken dexterity off for this fight, but I wanted to have it on just in case I need to dex something. I'm not exactly sure what I was thinking here. I went ahead and hit him, which just barely left him under 3 bars, which was very lucky for me. He ended up throwing his special 2 there, but then I just decided to go for my special 3, hoping that it would finish him off. But it doesn't. Now look closely at my phasing here. This is exactly why I keep saying that the kitty cycle is not safe. You shouldn't rely on it. He wasn't throwing his special 3. My phasing was running out, so I had no choice but to just go for my special 1, hoping it would land and finish him off, which it did, luckily. But had it not finished him, he would have thrown his special 3 while I wasn't phasing, and that would have ended pretty badly, although I did have the invulnerability boost on. But yeah, that is exactly why I keep saying not to rely on it. Anyways, then for one of the most satisfying fights I have taken in a while, we have a Bishop boss, and I'm taking this with Pryde this time, instead of Tigra. Now, the way I like to fight Bishop is by phasing his special 1 over and over again to deal most of my damage. To do that, the spacing I use is 2 dashbacks when he starts throwing his special 1, and then dash in to face the bullets. Stand still and let the bullets miss, and dash at him again to start your combo. Now, playing him this way does have its risks, because you really need to get back up to 3 prowess again before he gets to throw another special 1, otherwise you won't be able to face it. Now, I could have sped this fight up a lot by going for my special 2s here. You don't want to use special 1 or special 3 because of the passive incinerate they inflict, but special 2 is fine to use. With those incinerate debuffs, Bishop's steady release is trying to inflict on you, your prowess potency is gonna be maxed out for most of the fight. And with maxed out prowess potency, as well as full boosts and recoil masteries, this Bishop would have dropped in well under a minute. However, I just didn't really see the point in doing that we weren't behind on time and we were doing just fine on deaths. So I decided to play it safe. Keep this rhythm for the whole fight and nothing could go wrong. That was probably the cleanest bishop fight I have taken with Kitty in a very long time. I always just somehow mess them up, but this one was perfect. At the time of me finishing the boss, our BGs were tied 2-2, but I'm not sure how it ended up in the end. We did win the war 15-4 though, so it went well. And real quick before finishing this war video, I'm gonna share my mastery setup, both with and without recoil. People have been requesting it for a little while and I kinda just forgot about it, but here they are. My defense tree stays the same no matter which mastery setup I'm using, so that I don't have to waste units on doing that over again. So the first one was without recoil, this one is with recoil, and if I wanna use the bleed as well as the poison, I either take points off of limber or petrify, depending on which fights I'm taking. I hope this helps those that were asking for them.